used to score good, but it was not top of the university or anything. I used to bunk classes a lot, then add proxies, go out, have fun with friends in college, everything like that. I've done everything in college. And from the final year was mostly in COVID. So it was a very tough time for everyone. We had nothing to do. So I was like, it's better to utilize my time rather than wasting it. So I started preparing for NEET.
So how is it? How did you strike the balance between, of course, in your years when you have college studies, you have hospital rotations, and you also have to prepare for the monumentous NEET PG exam?
Really a matter of smart work rather than doing the all the things that everyone does. So in especially during internship, everyone was very skeptical because of the COVID situation. So our internship started with COVID, and in between there was another wave of COVID. So we were all posted into COVID duties. So while in COVID duties, there was not too much hectic work. So I used to get time. So rather than taking books and everything, I used to do marrow pearls and everything. So majority of my education was in my phone only. So that was a very good thing. With the new apps and everything that are developing and the content that you get on your mobile in your hands is a very convenient and efficient way of preparing.
Do you have any hierarchy of the subjects from the bottom, the subjects that you hated the most, and to the top, the subjects that you loved or you wanted to finish off?
Oh, definitely. I hated Oftal the most. Oftal, I never liked Oftal. It's such a small two eyeballs and everything you can and it was so difficult. Like everything appeared the same. So it was Oftal was very bad, and everyone's most hated subject is definitely biochemistry. So both of those were on the top of my hate list. So other, other than that, there was of course the PSM. PSM cannot be ignored, but PSM was very important. So I had to do a tough pill to swallow.
So, what was your strategy to deal with these tough subjects, these subjects that are quite difficult, and do you put them ahead in your schedule, or did you want to finish off with them first? How was the
So
course?
so basically I what I did during my internship. So first thing when my internship started and I started preparing for NEET like seriously. So I gave a grand test. I analyzed which subjects were my weakest and then started preparing from the weakest first. So when I gave the next grand test after a month, so it was like you can see the difference. How well have you improved? So that improvement was the positive feedback. It keeps you going. That keeps you going. So my plan was like that because the most hated subjects will be revised more and more if you start them earlier. I did not put much effort in my first, second, or third first. So third first, I really just studied for like 2 months for the exam because the course was very small and it was very easy. Ophthalm and ENT were comparatively easier than let's say biochem or microbiome. So anyone, first of all, anyone can do great in the NEET exam or anything. It's just how you prepare rather than what you prepare. Everyone asks me the same question, marrow or dams or everything, but it's not the source material. It's on you. So you just need a basic plan. You need to know your strengths and weaknesses, and you have to analyze it by and the giving tests. The main thing is you give tests, you analyze yourself, you improve on what you are lacking, and then it makes you stronger and stronger.
When you had started your journey to start studying for the NEET PG, did you consider it at the right time? Do you think that when you started was the right time, or did you feel like you were lagging behind, or maybe you were earlier than your peers?
So when I started preparing, had I really had no idea what the competitors were doing because most of my friends were giving USMLE or PLAB or something like that. Other people were like studying from like second year itself, started dams and marrow and everything from second year itself. So I was like, how can I beat all these people who have already started, but it's not that every person is built different, and you need to know what you have to do. If you just keep on studying your favorite subject, then it's not going to matter, because you'll already know what you know, but you have to know what you don't know. So that is the thing. uh, so it's good to analyze yourself at every step in your preparation.
Now, what do you think is the best course of action for the NEET PG? Is it studying it subject-wise, or is it studying it in an integrated manner where you're connecting all the dots from all the various topics, or the similar topic from various other subjects?
So studying topic wise is, studying topic wise is slightly bit tough, because every topic is integrated, but it is in different sources. So like if you're studying, let's say endocrine, so you have to study from a physio book, then you have to study from medicine book. Every book and everything is arranged and available in a like subject wise matter. So anything can work, but I feel it does not matter. If you're making your own notes, then definitely topic wise is better. But if you're going with pre-made notes, or you don't have enough time, then subject wise is also a very good strategy to prepare, because every time you read that subject, you will get a quick review, a quick that light bulb, that yes, I know this, I have read it somewhere. So that would also be your like a mini revision of that subject from another of that topic from another subject.
Right. Now, students right now who are preparing for this exam, it's very common that most of these students, they're overburdened with resources. They have different books, they have their own self-made notes, and you also have printed notes or lecture notes from other institutions. So, to you, how did you strike that balance? Like when you had your resources next to you or on your table. So, what was your progression from each of these sources to completely learning about the subject?
So first of all, I in my third first, because of peer pressure, just because of peer pressure, I joined dams. So dams was like very hectic for me, because 2 days or 2 to 3 days on a weekend studying. Everyone is enjoying, and you're studying from like 9 to 9 at night. So it was very difficult. I knew that I was not the dams kind of guy. Of course, there are dams people, but I could not do it. My I used to take things slow, so I started preparation from Marrow in my final year, and like I made my own notes and everything. So own notes, and then add anything that you want. So it's not like which source to use. It's like whatever information you can find. I was primarily a Marrow user, but I gave some dance tests and everything. I took the questions that I did not get right, and then highlighted them in my Marrow notes, added it. So it's a journey basically, but it's not limited to one source. I use Marrow for majority of my preparation, but many of my colleagues, my friends have also used different sources, and different sources for different subjects. If you find a subject, mostly medicine, people really find it very vast in Marrow. So so first of all, you need to clear basics of every subject, uh, just the basics, not the advanced concepts. So if you just know the basics of every subject, you are almost 60% done with your preparation. So I would recommend that solving MCQs is a great way to test your concepts, but especially if you have uh, lacking concept or anything, then you need to also watch the videos again if you need. But MCQs and their explanations are also really great for building the concepts.
Any high yield topics that when you were going through your preparation that you felt students tended to ignore, or people thought that this was not quite important?
So any like topics that you can skip, na? So it is imperative that you have to do the previous year questions. Previous year questions you have to do. Other than that, the advanced concepts like For example, let's say any genetic mutation or anything from pathology, or sometimes like the numbers, the some formulas, some PSM schemes. So some of them are extremely important if they're new and anything, but mostly they are tested more in your INI-CETs. So if you're not preparing for your INI-CET, then it's good to skip the things that you don't know, especially during biochemistry. Biochemistry in NEET PG, they usually ask the metabolic biochemistry more rather than the genetics. Genetics are more oftenly asked in INI-CET. So if you're not comfortable with genetics, you can skip the genetic part. Even in microbiology, you don't need to remember all the subspecies and everything, and what each subspecies has a toxin and what it does and everything. So a basic idea is good, but in depth you don't need to remember. Even in pharmacology, you have lots of drugs, especially onco drugs. Onco drugs, most of them are not asked. The basic ones and the side effects are mainly tested, but the deep ones, the latest ones, are usually not asked unless if they are very important. Latest questions are usually asked reserved for INICET. So you should know what you want to prepare and then read accordingly.
Okay. So how was your mindset on the day before the exam and on the day of the exam? What did you feel? Did you feel like you had to revise? Were you revising all the important points, or how was it? How did it go?
So the day before the exam, I usually don't study. It's a very common way that most of the toppers that you'll hear, they'll say that you study till the end, but just stop at the last day. You don't study anything on the last day. You just enjoy. You watch series, spend time with your family, go out, have a nice dinner, and then give your exam on the next day. So it's basically just to calm your anxiety. I know it's very tough to do, to even imagine not studying on the last day or the day before the exam. So, but you have to do it. If you're Because the last day reading won't help you that much, but the last day calming of your mind will really give a nice uh, positive attitude on the day of exam, so you don't miss out on the things that you know.
Right. Now, once the exam was done, once you had come out of the exam hall, what were the feelings? What feelings were going on in your head? Were you nervous? Were you relaxed? Was there a sense of completion? How did that go?
That's just after you're done with exam, you just feel like you have nothing left. So exam was your goal, and it is done. So now there's nothing that you have to do. So you just feel like empty. You definitely feel happy or worse, or happy or sad, depending on your exam. And there is always the itch of seeing that did I do this question right or not. But do not do that, because that will just lead to more sadness. So uh, you definitely, I felt personally very sad. Not sad, but empty. Like, what do I have to do now? There is no goal. So just enjoy. But then you get used to it.
Now, during your preparation, how did you deal with all the stress, the anxiety? I know burnout is on the rise for medical students, especially due to so many exams coming up and the severity of those exams. So, what was your strategy in dealing with those feelings?
So burnout and everything is definitely a big issue, because once you start studying, you just feel like studying is the worst thing that you can do to yourself. But it is just a temporary phase. So I used to watch like Netflix and roam around with my friends, go on like mini trips, weekends, have fun, go to internship. Internship is also a very fun way to pass the time, and definitely everything is needed. See, if you want to excel, you have to be at the best of your brain. So if you are like stressed every time, then you won't be able to retain. So being relaxed is a
Mhm.
better way to study, I would say.
The other questions. Yes. What year, according to you, would be the best time for aspirants? Now, of course, we have students from first year, second year. So, what year would you recommend for them to start studying for their post graduation?
So first of all, I would say that just the first and second years should just enjoy. Like they should just enjoy it because they've already been through a very tough exam in the form of NEET UG, and now you're just starting again and again for this. There's no time for relaxation. So first second years you should definitely live to the best of your life, go out, have fun, everything. Of course, study for the unis, but unis really don't matter. So you basically just need two, 1 or 2 good years of studying. One is fine for most of them, but if you have that thing that I want to, like, I cannot do it in 1 year, or I'm scared, or if the internship is hectic, then definitely 2 years. But 1 year with a calm mind is more than enough time for preparation.
Now, any words of motivation or advice that you would like to give to the audience?
So the main thing about studying for NEET is just have to be disciplined and consistency. Consistency is the main thing that you need to do, especially if you are someone like me who is very lazy. I used to like study in my bed and everything. I'm very lazy in waking up. I cannot wake up and everything. But once it becomes a habit that I have to do this much in a day, it becomes a habit, and then you have to do it. Otherwise, you won't get to sleep. So being, but of course, every day is not the same. Every day you cannot study for 8 hours, 6 hours. So it depends on the time, but you have to cover it up for the next day. But even if you are out or anything, just read something so you don't lose that touch. So being consistent, I would say, is the most important.
Right. About radiology, how do you describe the radiology specialty?
What? Sorry.
Yes. You're doing a residency in
Yes.
radiology? So, how do you describe the radiology specialty?
Radiology specialty is that is a very tough question. Describing radiology is like describing you're like doing everything from once, like in a minute you're doing an op scan, in another minute you're doing a CT scan for a surgical patient, and sometimes you're doing interventions, taking biopsies and everything. So it is, radiology is like the culmination of all the subjects you learn during MBBS. Everything is combined into one, except pharmacology, of course. But yes, that's the beauty of radio, and it's a terminal branch, not a terminal branch, but yes.
Was this your desired specialty? If yes, then were there any other specialties that you would have liked to gone for, you would have liked to have gone for?
Yes, definitely. Radiology was my desired specialty, but yeah, medicine was my second option or first option. During after NEET, I was really confused between medicine and radio, but finally decided on radio. Both of them are extremely vast, and you need to study a lot. That's why I like it. I like to know things. I like to know more and more. So I selected radio.
Right. Uh, what uh, what made you take the NEET PG route? Because most of the students right now they normally go towards the USMLE or the PLAB route. So, what was your thought process and your reason for sticking through the NEET PG route?
So NEET PG route was definitely that was a really tough decision because I had my eyes set on USMLE during my first and second year. I even prepared a little bit for USMLE, doing pathoma and everything, but finally decided on NEET PG just because family is here, because US you are earning a lot and everything, but your family is not with you. So and we have an extensive family and connections in my hometown. So it's good for me to settle here rather than going out.
So what is next for Dr. Vandan Patel? Is would you like to go abroad or any other plans you have for the future?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to go abroad for a fellowship or anything if I get the chance. But yeah, that's my. I want to explore everything. Need to travel around the world, go different places. Everything. I love traveling, so it's my goal to go abroad and study and then come back.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vandan Patel. We will now be taking questions from the audience. Yes, we have a question from the audience. Which subject needed your maximum attention?
So I would say the most important subject is definitely medicine. Medicine. Majority of the questions are asked from medicine, and second is surgery. Then there is obs gynae. So the three major subjects they are really focusing on. The three major subjects, the Trinity, and of course PSM. PSM they ask very weird questions which are really out of the blue. But medicine, surgery, and obs gynae, if you do these three final year subjects like very good, then you are done with like 60% of the total questions. Because medicine, in medicine you are already taught about the pharmacology, pathology, and physiology. So you just have to integrate them and make it as a subject. So medicine is really fun that way because it's like four subjects you are doing it simultaneously. So medicine you need the maximum attention. Then it is surgery in which you have orthopedics, radiology. Then there is also some anatomy and everything. So surgery is also a culmination of three, four subjects together. And if you are in first year or second year, then definitely if there is going to be a next exam, then the format will be changed. But I feel the questions are actually the same only. So you have to prepare it that way when where in which your maximum concentration should be on the final year subjects.
We have another question. Did you have any mentors on this journey?
Mentors, definitely the Marrow teachers were really amazing. I used to look upon Dr. Rakesh Nair as a really amazing personality, and like the way he teaches and everything. I know it's very hit and miss for most of the people. Some people really like him, some people absolutely hate him. So for me, he was very amazing. But definitely, my parents and everything also, my parents and everyone also uh, inspired me to and supported me a lot. So those were also my main mentors.
Right. Another question is, how do we manage studies after 9 to 5 college? As yes, so we have a person from the audience, a second year student, and he wants to know what a typical day, like the timetable you had during your PG preparation, from waking up to going to sleep.
So my preparation during internship was a bit different in different internship postings. Some postings were really light, so I used to wake up, go to internship, then come back at like lunchtime, and then start preparing. So my first of all, I used to do some flashcards. So flashcards in the form of marrow pearls. So it was a technique which is called space revision. I would like to like speak about that in a bit, but I used to do the flashcards, and then after 3 4 hours, I would study some notes which I used to make the previous day. So basically, what my plan was I used to first of all study from videos. So videos, you make your notes, then you revise your notes on the second day, and then you solve the MCQs on the third day of the same topic. So basically, one topic of yours gets completed in 3 days fully. So that was my
Mhm.
strategy, because if you are preparing from videos, making notes, and then doing the MCQs on the same day, you will definitely know most of the MCQs. But in a day or two, if you are solving the MCQ, then you will know what minor things you're missing, what things you did not understand from the video, and you have to do it again. So it was a very good little strategy. So basically, your strategy should be 1, 2, 3, and also spaced revision, which I will say. Uh, Other things was like, first of all, I used to wake up, do the things. Also, you should solve MCQs as much as possible. So 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours every day for MCQs is definitely needed. If you're doing it from QBank, Marrow, Dams, anything works, but I would recommend Marrow as your best QBank. Also, 1 2 hours of that, and then you have to study for from notes for like 2 3 hours, 4 hours. I did not study notes very much. My main source of information was the Pew Bank, the Grand Tests, and the pearls, Marrow pearls, and flashcards.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have another question. Did you know that you were going to be a ranker? How did you feel after receiving the results?
So I actually was not a ranker in my unis and everything, but yeah, I prepared well for NEET, and in the grand test it shows. When you're giving your grand test, you know how much you know. You get the results. You know that, oh, I'm doing really good, or I have to improve. So eventually, starting when I gave my first grand test, I was at like, my rank was around 18 to 20,000. Then gradually it improved till the last grand test, which I gave day before the giving my NEET. My last grand test score was around 750, and rank was around 20 all India. So I knew that I was going to do well, even if the paper was a bit tough or tricky. uh, I would definitely get a top 500 rank. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for accepting our invitation, coming here and explaining to us your NEET PG success story, also giving us various tips on how to do it. I would like to thank the panel for being a patient audience. We're all going to leave the event with newfound motivation, plans of action, and a new sense, a new drive to focus on our PG from today. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on this amazing platform. Have a nice day.